The Incredible Hulk is a household name. Many of us have grown up reading his comics and watching his movies. Guess what? Even we cannot get enough of our favorite Green Giant. We've explained a lot about him in our previous videos. His alter egos, love interests, enemies, and much more. This one, however, is unique. It dives into the first of Marvel's The End series. This comic shows possible endings for their characters, outside of their main storylines, which have entirely different outcomes. Will the end of the Hulk story be happy or sad in this story? Watch the full video to know the fate of our favorite Green Giant. But before we get started, we have a small request. If you love our content and want to see more such videos and explainers on the Hulk, or any of your other favorite characters, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for more updates. Now let's traverse through the story. The Hulk, a brief introduction. Robert Bruce Banner is a physicist working on a government project, the Gamma Bomb, a potent nuclear weapon. While testing it, he sees a civilian breaching the testing area and rushes to save him. The bomb unfortunately detonates, and Banner absorbs the nuclear rays. While unscathed, Banner starts experiencing massive bodily changes whenever he gets stressed or angry, turning him into the Hulk, strong, immortal, and seething with rage. A lot then changes. He becomes a revered superhero and one of the founding members of the Avengers. However, because of conflicting thoughts, mainly Banner's embarrassment and Hulk's arrogance, in his mind and his dissociative identity disorder, both of the alter egos always want to stay out of society's gaze. Will they ever be successful? This story has a positive answer to this recurring question, so let's find out. The story of the last and possibly most powerful Titan. The story opens with an old man's naked feet walking on arid ground with a walking stick. The sky in the background is eerily green. The man, with long white hair flying in the wind, kills a cockroach roaming below with his stick as a bird flies down to scavenge on the dead insect. This person, hunchbacked, frail, and wearing nothing but a long, ragged cloth to cover his private areas, is satisfied after crushing the cockroach, but starts loathing about how he's heard nothing, just quietness. He says that he's taken a lot of sounds for granted, cars honking, bacon sizzling on a grill, phones ringing, and expresses surprise that there existed a civilization before everything came to an end. We see a small flying globe following him as he thinks to himself and traverses the barren land. Well, who is this person? Where is he? And why is this globe following him? The man, cursing his mundane life, sits down on a rock and looks into the globe, called a vidbot. He looks into its screen and says, "Bruce, the sky glowed green today at sunset." That's Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk's human alter ego. Banner thinks about how looking at the vidbot and speaking to it entertains him. He can hear his own voice and also talks to it. As he gazes at the sunset, Banner discloses his age, over 200 years. Banner now has a wrinkly face and sunken cheeks, and his eyes look very sad. Banner talks about how he wishes to die and be at peace, but his muscular, aggressive alter ego will not let him, as Hulk feels no emotion other than anger. Hulk then emerges that night and is seen passing through an abandoned city. In contrast to Banner's helplessness, he's angry at his human alter ego. Hulk is irritated with Banner's existence, implying that the human activities he does and his puny size are hurdles to the Green Giant's personality. We all know that Hulk detests company. He tries to grab the vidbot, saying how he would smash it to pieces once he gets his hands on it, but is unsuccessful. He sees a cockroach, states that he hates bugs, and proceeds to kill it with a metal signboard he gets his hands on. After crushing the insect, he says that he hates Banner the most. The next day, Banner, who's transformed back into his human self, talks a bit about history. How after the First World War, the second one, which saw Japan getting destroyed by the USA with a nuclear bomb, served as a lesson never to touch nuclear weapons again. Japan also surrendered at that time, which Banner says was honorable. He says sadly that there's no honor left in the world, and there's no world itself. Having traveled over Canada, Mexico, and South America, which have been equally devastated, he tried settling down in the ruins of Las Vegas to keep himself occupied. Hulk even took up the role of a bouncer at a rundown casino. There was still no change in their lives. Banner also adds that he doesn't wear shoes as his foot calluses have become harder, but he limps due to a fracture that is not healed properly. He says that the air has some radiation lingering in it, but it doesn't affect him. He's immune to any kind of radiation or nuclear power. Despite not having eaten anything for a long time, his body has the power to carry on without hunger. A gift from Hulk. Banner later sees his hands trembling and wonders if it's a sign of old age or Parkinson's disease. What he sees next horrifies him. A swarm of cockroaches come flying towards Banner and try to attack him. Out of fear and stress, he turns into Hulk and deals with the insects. Before this ordeal, Banner quotes how death was a better option than dealing with these insects, but he lives out of habit. Sometime later, Banner views the whole ordeal on the vidbot. He sees Hulk being attacked in a gruesome manner by these cockroaches. In the post-apocalyptic world, cockroaches have gotten really powerful and bloodthirsty. He watches with great attention how Hulk's body, which was turned to smithereens by the cockroach attacks, regenerates into its normal self. The whole healing process takes 18 minutes, following which Hulk happens to have tried to attack the vidbot, but fails. Banner again reiterates how nothing can finish Hulk, while also commenting on the efficiency and agility of the recording globe. Meanwhile, in another failed attempt to break the vidbot, Hulk, cursing at everyone, mentions the excruciating pain he goes through, while his body regenerates. While eating a cactus, Hulk again gloats at being the strongest on the Earth, without any of Banner's friends around. Rick, Betty Rose, and Thaddeus Ross, her father. Banner walks into the Costumed Adventurers Memorial Park, a memorial for the other superheroes, who, according to him, sacrificed their lives while trying to save mankind from evil forces on Earth and in other galaxies. He thinks about how all that remains of the superheroes are their statues, but Hulk continues to live on, and has also witnessed the destruction caused by humans fighting among themselves. We now understand why the Earth is barren. There was another nuclear holocaust after the Second World War, this time by some terrorists with a much greater intensity. No lessons were learned from the bombing of Japan. This attack was intense, enough to destroy all of humanity, the good, the bad, and the innocent. Hulk did not care about who waged war or who died. He only had two goals, being the strongest person on Earth and staying alone. The nuclear radiation didn't affect him. In fact, he became stronger. However, after seeing the destruction and cries of suffering around, triggered by a malnourished child he sees, he fled to New Mexico to shut himself in the Gamma Cave, his place of birth. Hulk shut the entrance and stayed in it for many years. He easily survived thanks to his superpowers and a natural water source in the cave. One day, a visitor came to the Gamma Caves and opened the rock blocking the entrance. Sunlight fell on Banner's eyes, and he saw a robot standing. The robot said, "So my readings are correct. A human has survived. How inconvenient." Banner, flabbergasted by the robot's words, asked who it was. The robot was a recorder that had come from the Rigel sector in outer space to document the demise of humans at the request of several races from different planets. "Do they want to learn from our mistakes?" Banner asked. The robot said, "No, they just want to make sure you're all dead." Races from other planets, according to it, were happy with the nuclear blast and were organizing a festival to celebrate the demise of humanity. Banner, rudely surprised that he was the only human left alive, tried to make peace with it. Banner asked the robot, "So are you going to kill me, to make sure? Do you want me to? Do you wish to die?" "No, you'll change your mind," the robot said. It said that its functions do not include genocide and murder, just recording. On its behalf, the robot released the vidbot and said that it would collect the recording globe once Banner dies. Still unable to come to terms with all that he had heard, Banner asks if there's something he can do to protect any humans left alive. The robot says he can do one thing: say clearly to the vidbot that his species had a tendency to mumble. Cut to the current day. Banner says that the robot was right. Consumed by the wish to kill himself, he jumps off a cliff, but immediately regrets it, realizing that Hulk will never let him die. As he nears the ground and says how he hates Hulk for not letting him go to heaven, Banner transforms into Hulk, who says he hates Banner for trying to kill himself. Hulk then falls into the ravine and escapes unscathed. Stupid Banner, he thinks he can kill Hulk. He thinks he can get away, but Hulk will go on forever. Hulk is strongest one there is, the Green Giant exclaims as he gets up. One night, as Banner is sleeping, he suddenly opens his eyes and sees a beautiful naked woman standing in front of him. Initially puzzled at why she looks happy to see him, he lowers his guard and sees the woman walking toward him. Every step she takes is followed by grass sprouting and Banner becoming younger. As they embrace and fall to the ground, the earth is now in full glory. Green grass, fragrant and colorful flowers, and the skyline dotted with majestic trees. Colorful butterflies adorn the blue sky. The woman then whispers in his ear, "We will repopulate the world. We will be Adam and Eve. No, even better, we will be gods." "Gods!" Banner exclaims as he wakes up after lightning breaks his sleep. His utopian dream is shattered and he sees nothing around. No woman, no lush forest, just the barren earth. He catches his chest, thinking about the dull pain he's been having for the past 2 days, hot as fire. As Hulk, on the verge of coming out, screams at Banner for allegedly trying to kill him, Banner gets a sudden realization, a deep one that brings tears to his eyes. Being human, Banner is mortal, as opposed to Hulk. To explain this, he narrates the story of Prometheus, the Greek god who created humankind from clay. However, Prometheus felt that Zeus, the king of the gods, was misbehaving with the humans, so he created fire for them. The gods weren't happy, so they cursed humankind and turned Prometheus into a mountain in the Caucasus, not one of rock, but of flesh. He would writhe in agony while scavenging birds came and ate his flesh and entrails. His body, however, would heal on its own so that the process could be repeated. As Hulk orders Banner to stop thinking, lamenting why he let his puny human alter ego live with him, Banner concludes that just like Prometheus, Hulk is Prometheus of the Atomic Age, which brought an end to the world. Flashbacks of the nuclear blast, which gave life to Hulk, replay in his mind. Along with Hulk were other characters like Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Fantastic Four, who were considered demigods by humans, but the atomic blast didn't spare them either. On the other hand, Hulk is immune to widespread destruction. Just like Prometheus was punished for introducing fire to man, Hulk is being punished in the same way. He's paying the price for the nuclear destruction, getting brutally brutally attacked by cockroaches and regrowing his body. He's the first of the superheroes and the last one to survive. As the pain in his chest increases, a visibly uncomfortable and sweating Banner remembers the people he met over his lifetime, including his mother, who he lost at a very young age. He then sees visions of their smiling faces. They're standing at the gateway of heaven, extending their hands to take him away. On the other hand, Hulk, desperate to live, tries to make his way out, shouting at the chest pain to stop. Banner requests Hulk to come along with him. They'll have friends around and will finally be at peace. Hulk doesn't budge, thinking this is Banner's trick to kill him. Banner pleads frantically to Hulk. "Let me go! Let us go!" he exclaims. "No," responds Hulk. Hulk won't let it happen. Hulk doesn't want friends. Hulk doesn't want to be with anybody because Hulk just wants to be left alone. Banner finally sees darkness. He passes away. His ordeal of more than 2 centuries comes to an end as he finally heads to the heavenly abode. The following night, happy that this human alter ego is no more, Hulk jubilantly says he successfully foiled Banner's plan of killing him. Hulk also says that he will not let Banner come back, as doing so will weaken him. He must stay strong to keep enemies away, even if there are no more. For his mission is to stay alive, be strong, and defeat his new enemies, the mutant cockroaches. Hulk is now the only strong person on the planet. No foes to deal with, no Banner to complain about. He finally achieves solitude. However, he then realizes he's the only person on the planet. He then says morosely, Hulk feels cold. The vidbot hovers over him, recording his drastic change in attitude. Marvelous verdict. Well, that story and its ending were sad and probably tear-jerking if you're one of the Hulk's biggest fans. It was pretty easy for the Hulk to win against Banner for staying alive, even at the surprisingly old age of 200, but at a cost, a huge one. We can only hope that after this, there's a happier outcome for him, and he gets to be at peace now that he can finally feel. What are your thoughts on the Green Giant's ordeal? We would like to hear you out in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like it and share with your fellow Hulk fans. Till then, thanks for watching, and goodbye. Have a great day.